Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we are on the website of Mehlis Auctioneers based in Germany, and we're going to have a look at their 104th auction catalogue. We've looked at a few before. These are absolutely huge auctions with so many different things, but we're just going to look at the musical instrument section here. This website is always a little bit difficult to navigate and understand, but it seems that the buyer's premium is 23%. Obviously this is auction is in Germany, so if you're outside of Europe or international or even the UK now, then check all the specs and check the terms and all of those things to see if there's any additional fees. And then without further ado, I guess we should get into it. Just to say that the auction's running from November the 18th to November the 20th. I'm not entirely sure when the musical instrument section is. I tried to look at it, but I couldn't find the exact information. But just bear that in mind if you're interested in buying some of these items. Then some of them may be starting tomorrow because it's the 17th today. So between the 18th and 20th, all of these many lots will be going up. So here's a 1930s violin marked MB Klein. We'll have a look at few pictures here, but it doesn't look like anything too crazy. These the Mehlis auctions are not usually too high level. Another 20th century violin there. Nothing too outrageous so far. This is a Gewa, kind of standard student instrument, so once again not too crazy. Saying an instrument from 1900 with a repair slip. It says CA Wunderlich in Votland. I can actually zoom the pictures pretty good, but there's no point for these particular instruments so far. Another 20th century violin, nothing too outrageous to see here. It's had a bit of a repair. Let's just quickly check. Another 20th century violin here. This is all fairly standard stuff. Another 20th century violin here, maybe a little bit more interesting than the other ones we've seen so far. Slightly interesting scroll. I like the Mehlis magnifying glass. Another early 20th century violin, so I can see that this is one of those kind of auctions this time. Sometimes they do have some interesting stuff. 1930s violin there. Another 1930s violin without label. This is all very low-end trade kind of stuff. Another 1930s one, looks in fairly good condition actually. Scroll is actually fairly nice. It's not too bad. Another 20th century violin. At least they're all in fairly good condition. I guess that is one thing that can be said. Another 1930s companion labelled instrument there. All low starting bids. 19th century violin they're saying here. Once again pretty standard. Looking at potential another low quality 1930s violin there. And saying another 1930s here. Everything all very standard so far. Another 1930s violin there. Looks not too bad. Another similar ilk. Another tradey violin. Another kind of 1900s violin there. 1920s violin. We're seeing all the same kind of stuff again. Another 1920s. More 1930s trade, but at least some of them are, like I said, in good condition. Back into the 1920s again. More items than I thought there were, actually. Another 1930s. Nothing outrageous so far. Another fairly standard violin. But we're on page 2 now. What will page 2 bring? The 20th century violin. Not really much here. Another 1930s. Nothing there. Yet again, another 1930s. €20 there. This is something potentially a bit more interesting. Around 1900. It's one of these kind of castle inlaid things. Looks better from afar, unfortunately, when you look at these. Not so interesting. It's got a fake Klotz label. €200 they want as the starting bid. I think it'd actually look nicer without the castle thing on the back. 20th century violin. One of these antiqued jobbies. Slightly better than your average. Good receipt there. It says one violin. Good. €80 there. Another 1930s type. I actually quite like those picture views that Mehlis do, when you can just kind of just jump straight on them. And it's another 1920s. These are really not worth spending much time on, unfortunately. Another 1920s kind of violin. Two violins. Obviously nothing too impressive. We're on to some bows now. Kind of 20th century unmarked Pernambuco. So a bow marked Echner. I think we saw some Echner bows before. 3/4 bow marked Echner, so either they never sold on the last auction, or there's more of them. Double bass bow in the French form, €150 the starting bid there. Cello bow marked Rich. Let's have a quick look. €150 is the start bid there. Violin bow marked Echner again. Another Echner bow. Three-quarter bow, another Echner. We're in the Echner collection. And a half-size bow there. Some bits of frogs, 6 frogs, another 6, a few more frogs. Cellos, let's see, mid-20th century cello there, so it doesn't look too bad. €300 they're looking for. Another mid-20th century cello there. Quite a figured scroll. Tambura, Croatia. First half of the 20th century. Interesting enough. And we're on page 3. A concertina from the 1920s marked Wilhelm Dolling Klingenthal. An alto saxophone marked Yanagisawa, Japan. B-flat tuner there with 4 rotary valves. And this is probably the best thing actually of the whole auction, is the Devil's Tongue, and I think we might have seen this before as well. The Devil's Tongue large folk rhythm instrument. There you go. Harlequin head. €60 and it could be yours. Well, there we go. This has been the Mehlis auction, the musical instrument part, the 104th auction. 23% is the buyer's premium, and these items are finishing sometime between the 18th and 20th of November. Not entirely sure. Not the most exciting of auctions, I'm afraid, but what pictures there are okay, and sometimes this auction's better, so we'll keep monitoring it. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. I'll put a link in the description, and check it out for yourself. So ciao for now. Bye. Many thanks for tuning in to the Musical Instrument Investigator. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like, subscribe and turn on notifications, and watch out for the next video coming soon.